We need it done this year.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Spencer.
Dan.
This is the Board Game Rundown, or is it the Board Game Rubdown?
There
If
you
you
go.
know, you know. Anyways, today we are going to review the final production copy of Cult of the Deep. If you've been watching the show for a while, you will know that we saw this on Kickstarter. These guys from BA Games sent us a prototype
copy,
to play, which then Bob cried when we had to send it off.
It was sad.
And we also did a review way back then of the prototype. So now, a year, 2 years later, whatever that was,
Yep.
we are
months later.
We are going to review the final copy. And full disclosure, I like the people that made this game personally. I
Friends of
like
the
to
show.
think of them as friends. Like we actually got to meet at Origins and hang out a little bit. Fantastic dudes.
Little
So,
flirting.
huh?
Little flirting.
You know, whatever. We don't judge. But anyways, so just so you guys know, I just want to put that out there. I do actually legitimately really like the people that are behind this game.
Do our best to not let that influence the actual score of the gameplay.
Right. So, Cult of the Deep. Dan, you like to explain Cult of the Deep.
Okay.
Why don't you explain it?
Boy, I wasn't ready for this.
Got him.
So at the beginning, there are these rituals. We have 4 set up from a deck. I actually don't know which one the backs is. Yeah. So there's all these different rituals here, and we'll set up 4 of them at the beginning of the game. Everyone gets a private character. Honestly, you're going to hear me do this a lot. I don't know BA Games how you feel about it, but it is similar to Bang
Like a
the Dice
Bang,
game
yeah.
if you have played something like that. Everyone gets a hidden character. So there's like the High Priest, which is like the sheriff from Bang, right? You're public. Everyone else is private. So you have the cultists or the Kabbalists, I mean. They're all cultists. The Kabbalists who need to kill the High Priest. You have the heretics who have slightly different things, but basically they want to be the last ones alive. And then you have the faithful, which are trying to protect the High Priest, but no one knows who each other is. Even the High Priest doesn't know who his faithful are. And something that can be interesting there is for the first part of the game, the heretics are going to kind of act like the faithfuls because they need to make sure the Kabbalists die first. Because if they kill the High Priest, then the Kabbalists win, and they just help them complete their goal, right? But we have these cubes set out here. Everyone gets these dice we got, and then
5,
people also have a public ability like this. The layout here is your starting health. And then this is a special die face. For this guy, it is this. And basically, if I roll this on my turn, I can assign it to my character to heal myself by using that. The other die faces are also a generic heal. The 1 and the 2 swords are damage, 1 and 2 damage. And then the other ones have to do with relating to things. So you'll see that this face right here, I can assign to this ritual because it has a matching one. If I assign it to the top one here, the top cube moves down. If I assign it to the bottom one moves down, right? When these reach the end, this procs for most of them. Some will have asymmetric, things, of course. But and then if it has a keeper ability, which this one does not, but like this one does, for example, if it has a keeper ability, whoever moved it to the last slot gets that card, and now they have an ability that they have in front of them that they can activate with their keeper ability. The ultra ability activates whenever the cube is moved. Whoever moved the cube activates the ultra ability because the ritual is currently at the altar. You also have all these different mechanics here with the chant coins, the siren coins, the kraken coins. These are all, or dice. These are all going to do things as you get them, and you can spend them to do what the player aid says. There's also a round counter on this player aid here. And then as you're going around, you're going to roll your dice Yahtzee style. So I'll roll my dice, and then I will choose what I want to keep. Let's say I have full health. Well, I can't heal, so I'll re-roll those. Double damage is always nice, and let's say I really want to activate that ritual. So I'll re-roll these 3, and then I get one more re-roll, so I'll do this. Now I'm stuck with these, and I assign them. I'll say, okay, well, I want to put this here, and I want to do 6 damage to Tim.
That sounds good.
And this, I guess,
terrible idea.
I'll also put here. As a matter of fact, let's just for fun's sake say that I rolled that so I can post one here.
Right. And then somebody else may have an ability where I go, haha, like I just interrupted Dan and go, you know what? I've got the ability to change one of these die faces, and I might change it, which then once I do that, Dan then would reassign it, potentially.
Yep.
Potentially. There's a couple ways you can mitigate and manipulate die faces, not only on your own turn, but other people's turns as well.
Yeah, and the cards are very clear in saying that either you reassign it or you just change it and they reassign it.
Right.
Like, the cards are very clear with all that. Also, there is an entire phase called the response phase, where after I assign things, then we go around and we see if anyone wants to, respond to that. Then I do I can't think of the word right now, resolve phase, where I would say I pick the order I'm activating them in, and I would say, okay, I'll activate this and heal myself 1. Then I'll activate this and move this down, and then this proc. So that's done. If I procced this would get replaced by the next one, and they would reset at their numbers that they go to. And then
I think it gets up to the number of players.
Yeah. And then Tim would resolve the damage that was still in front of him by discarding
By bleeding.
your little hearts things.
Yep.
Everyone also has this little card, another hidden card in front of them that are like one-time use spells. So you just
Pretty
this
powerful
is private.
ability.
They're all very powerful, but like you said,
One-time
one-time
games.
use.
Yep, and then on my turn, I could just flip this over and say, oh, choose a player to roll 3 additional dice during the next roll phase. I choose myself, right, and stuff like that. And then, you're going until your team wins. So when people die, they are like, oh, I was this, and everyone has to complete their win objective, like I said earlier.
And this is a game that lends itself to that post-mortem conversation.
Oh,
You're like, after the game, you break it all down. You're like, oh, and then I did this on this turn because of this and this and this.
Well, and I guess actually one thing really quick is I forgot to mention that when you die, you also then get
Wraith card.
the Wraith cards,
Yeah.
which give you a new kind of ghost ability.
And so there's a big old stack of them, and you pick. You don't.
there's like 3 different kinds.
Yeah, so you're not randomly stuck with one. You can actually go through and pick one, which some people care about. Sometimes I would just grab random just because I'm crazy like that. But for the most part, for people that like to be able to pick, it's that option is there. That is actually the way you're supposed to play the game.
So this is an interesting mechanic, though. First of all, props to BA Games, because this is something that actually came in an expansion for Bang the Dice game, like a similar kind of thing. And this is just in base game. You guys get the
No player elimination.
The player elimination, thing it can counter that. But so here's one where it has these 3 dice here. So I actually assign these dice like this to this character, and then I will spend them to activate my ability. So basically, I can activate my ability when it comes around to me 3 times, right? And this says, during any living player's response phase, I can give them a die or discard one of mine to remove a matching die. So I can either say, oh, Tim, you need a heal. Here, you can have this. Or if Tim has a double-bladed sword, I can say, I'm discarding this. Tim, you can't use that this round.
Right.
And so it's just slightly more manipulation. It basically gives the ghosts, once they die, they have 3 additional rounds.
Because they can still work
to play,
towards their
right?
objective.
Yeah, they can still win. Even
The
if
only
you die,
person
you
that
can still
can't,
win.
there's 2 people that can't win if they're dead, right?
Yeah.
High Priest and the
Well, and
Vengeful
that's just
Heretic.
because they cause endgame.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
they die.
Well, the Vengeful Heretic, if he dies,
Yeah, he can
he
still
can't
alive.
win still.
Right. Sure.
One of the
Because-
heretics, yeah.
Yeah.
There's there's 2 heretics. One of
Right.
them is okay to win when you're
Repentant,
dead.
yeah.
The other one,
Yeah.
you can't.
But that's all right.
But
It's one-
that
one of the
is-
cards.
That's the basics of Bang the Dice game. It's a social deduction.
Cult of the Deep.
I said Bang the Dice game.
You
I am so
sure
sorry.
did.
That is
Let's-
the basics. I'm telling you guys, Bang the Dice game is one of my favorite little party games. And when we first got this, I was comparing it a lot because of that, which is why I like this game so much. And so I apologize. That is going to slip.
I just had to give you a hard time.
No, understandable.
funny.
All right, guys. Let's discuss components. What's in the box? Okay, so components. This is now we did get the Kickstarter. Well, this is a Kickstarter version, but that's all base game. But Bob did have the upgrade pack, which
I
is
did.
the acrylic tokens.
Yep.
Because all these metal coins, base game. All this fantastic
Dual layer
art and these
boards.
dual layer
Oh, I
boards,
want to show this
Base
off, by the
game.
way.
base game.
I don't know if you can see it.
A boss. It's kind of hard to see.
They
It
have
looks like almost water
they have
damage.
like
Oh, yeah.
but
room-
They're
they
embossed.
runes.
It's so awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and each card has like a different
This will be
style.
sleeved. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I need to get tarot sleeves for mine
Yeah.
as well. But anyway,
So
so
the dice also?
all these components, these dice all is just base game. These die are really awesome, like sparkly,
looking.
marbled, cool
Yeah, I don't know if I
die.
can even get a kind of close up of some of these.
Bob, normally I ask you about color dependency, but it is non-existent in this game.
Non-existent.
'Cause-
That's right. The die are different colors. I kind of noticed there's a difference, but it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
Right.
You can just grab 5. Doesn't matter which ones you grab. They're all the same.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to, you could do something though to where the ghosts use the green dye
Sure.
and stuff. Yeah,
The
but
weirdest thing, so these acrylics are really nice in the front. You have no idea how long I tried to get that white thing off. I'm like, oh, why is this like a sticker? It won't come off here. No, it's supposed
Yeah.
to stay on there.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's a little weird.
yeah, one-sided acrylic is weird.
The bags are cool. Now, one thing I do want to point out, if you do get the upgraded bits and there's all this, the insert is fantastic. However, if you get the upgraded components, you have to get rid of the insert to get it all to fit in the box, but it will all still fit in the box. Not shaking
mine
around
fits. There's like this much box left.
with all the special stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got rid of it because it was way easier. Once I sleeve them, there won't be any room at all.
Yeah, well, Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Once
Yeah,
I sleep
true.
mine.
But like I said,
nothing.
yeah, but I put those in a bag right now, and then once you put it all in the box, put the lid on there, it doesn't move, right? Because I mean, I always show them all the velvet bags. It's like 5 bags.
We held them out.
Yeah, they're fantastic bags. And
So many
yeah.
bags.
Well, this bag was technically mine. I put my dice in there. But
Oh my God.
But yeah.
These look so much like a tabletop simulator. If you've ever played on
Oh,
tabletop
right.
Oh,
simulator.
yeah.
But full color, really like good quality paper in the rule book. I found the rules are very straightforward. They do a very good job
Yeah.
of explaining everything.
Could have shaped the book a little better.
Okay, get over
Could
it.
they have?
Yes.
But I really, it made this game, even if you haven't played Bang the Dice game or don't love it as much as Dan, it made this game very easy to learn and to teach.
Yep.
Because at the time when we first played this, I had not played Bang the Dice
Right.
game.
True.
And so, yeah, I mean, I see the similarities now. I'm, by
Yes.
no means are you off base with that. But the production value of this game, like right out of the base game is top notch.
Stellar.
For this type of game
Yeah.
with the value, I kind of compare it with like Mechs versus Minions, where you're like, really? Like all of this is in this box and it looks this pretty. Even if you if you just have the cardboard tokens,
They're
fine. No big deal. But what gets me and like blows me away is this and these metal coins, these dual layer boards here. I mean, they just work so well. I would probably rate
Cards
this game a lot
beautiful.
lower if these weren't dual layered and you just had,
Yeah,
because
they're constantly
it would
being,
be,
shifty and moving.
it
Was
could
on
get
the 6
bumped.
or 7? Yeah.
it could
Yeah.
get bumped and everything, but the dual layered, I mean, it just fixes all those problems, and plus it just makes it look really good. Bob didn't have one, but they do have a dual layered
Oh my
player
Player
mat.
mat. Now, the only thing I got to knock it is the player mat. It doesn't fit in the box.
Nah,
That's why I didn't back it.
most player mats don't,
Exactly. Most don't.
but anyways,
Which is why I don't back most of them.
And also something we didn't mention really quick. I don't think I heard you guys mention it. Is tarot cards.
Tarot size.
well, speaking of
Love
tarot
the
cards,
tarot
guys,
size cards.
every single piece of artwork in this game, I call it artwork
Awesome.
for a
It is.
reason, because
Yes.
it is art. It is
It is.
beautiful.
Now, I think the wraiths could have had different pictures on the wraiths. There's 3 different
Oh,
abilities.
right.
They're all the
They
same.
could have had slightly different ones. Sure.
Even just a colorization, I guess. Like the Wrath one is red and
right.
stuff like
Just,
that.
Yeah, highlighting colors would have been nice. But the artwork's fantastic. I actually have some of the prints at home. I'm hoping to get
Right.
mounted and put up on the wall.
Yeah, shout out to the artist too.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, the whole art team on this just absolutely
Phenomenal.
nailed it. It is freaking beautiful. So,
Yeah.
anything else on components before we go into final thoughts?
Don't think so.
Dan, anything else?
No, I mean I was just gonna say concept artist Charles Walton, graphic designers David Lee, and Imagineer Studio. I mean I'm just shouting out.
Oh, they did great.
Good art.
Yep.
They
Oh yeah, and illustrator Liam
Most
Peters and Maura Elko.
Sure.
I
All right.
apologize if it was mispronounced.
We're gonna do that.
Final thoughts.
Okay, guys. Final thoughts.
Yep.
Final thoughts.
Spencer, I think you probably, I'm going to guess you had the least fun with this, but I could be wrong. So why don't we go with your final thoughts first?
Mr. High Priest.
Yeah, I was a high priest the last time we played this, and the high priest is the public role, so everyone knows I'm the high priest. And normally when you play this game, people are trying to
Help you?
Win?
be, be secretive about their role.
Yeah.
But when it turned out that both of the Kabbalists were also assassins,
I don't think that mattered that much. But
it
continue.
mattered a
assassin
lot.
part didn't matter.
Every
That's what
single
I'm
time I
saying.
took damage, it ended up being 2 more.
No,
Well, I'm
well, that
just
didn't
playing
help.
the role the way I'm supposed to play my role.
And they realized very quickly it was to their advantage to just not be
Secretive?
about it.
Pile the damage
There was a
on.
time where I tricked Justin for like a round.
I don't know how
Yes.
you tricked.
I don't know either, but that was
do not
amazing.
know.
I literally attacked you, and they're like, "Well, I'm gonna help Bob." And I was like, "Okay."
The very first thing you did was whisper over to me like, "I'm going to kill you." And I was like, "Oh yeah, he's a Kabbalist."
Dan pretty much nailed the roles like right out of the
Well,
gate.
I was very lucky to have. I was Kabbalist, which is the one that I enjoy the most. Having the hidden team out there and stuff is just fun. And then, like you said, I was the assassin. Now, I disagree. I don't think that assassin being Kabbalist is like, oh man, you guys got lucky that you had that.
no.
Because I just think assassin as faithful is insanely powerful against us and stuff like that.
Well,
right?
my point is, both of you were assassins. One,
Both
fine.
Kabbalists ended up
Both
being
Kabbalists
assassins.
ended up
Sure.
being assassins,
Yeah.
and he didn't get the ability that he wanted to
Correct.
use, but it would have been even more devastating if you ever got that thing to go off.
I just had a really cool ability where I basically had a self-sacrifice bleed effect, which is another reason why I was like, this is so fun. I'm just going to come out right out of the gate, where if anyone took damage on their turn, on a turn, I could do 1 damage to myself to cause them 2 extra damage. So I was almost doing it every turn.
Yeah,
I was
almost
just,
every chance you had.
like especially
Yeah, it takes you
early
more.
game, I was just doing it to everyone because I didn't know who's on my team. I was like, I'll weaken everyone, right, as I'm
Same.
going through.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I literally the second round, I think, or like the second time I was able to roll dice, I literally just rolled like 8 hit and put it on Spencer, and I was like, this is me coming out. Hello, how are you guys doing?
Yeah. So continue with your final
Yeah,
thoughts,
yeah.
please.
Well, I mean, I thought back on it, and I'm like, there was some bad luck in how cards got dealt and who got what role, because all the new players were the ones who were supposed to be helping me, and they didn't really know how to play their roles as well as they could have. And yeah, there is the possibility of having everyone just coming out the get-go and slamming on the High Priest. I would hope in a future game the other players would be able to mitigate it, but then it has changed from being a hidden role game to being who can do the most damage game, which is very different. I really liked the variety of these things. Like, some of these have a keeper power where you get something, but there wasn't one we had, I think it might have been this one, where
The ticking
you
clock.
have to stop it by keeping it that way. Otherwise, it hurts you.
And you and everybody next to you.
And everyone, no, actually, in the end, I was like, I cannot stop myself from dying because it's coming this way, and there's no way I can do it. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take myself out.
And do as much damage to everybody else as you can.
Which also led to a very interesting situation, and we're not certain. I think we know now what would have happened, but we're not entirely certain. Is that High Priest on one side.
Right. Hey,
gets
Sam,
hit-
question.
Yeah, question. High Priest on one side gets hit with enough damage to kill him with this one power that hits 3. Person on the other side is the last remaining Kabbalist, and the person on the other side is the heretic. And you all die at the exact same time.
I think
We
we
all
determined-
lose?
So the only one left alive is Faithful.
Yeah.
Right,
The only
and they
ones
can't
left
win
are faithful.
They
because
can't win because the High Priest
died.
died.
So-
That's
So
Everyone loses?
that's an anomaly.
Yes.
So I think what we talked is that people died in player order.
I just
Yeah,
said that's
we
what
could
I
do
would
that.
do if there wasn't an official ruling, but there's probably an official ruling.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, going off of like
And
other
we weren't
games-
really close to that happening
Oh, no,
because
We were just kind of curious.
so
It was just a curious
Spencer was
thing.
just sad because he was losing, so he was trying to find flaws in the design.
Yes.
I would
Oh, I
guess,
always try to find the flaws.
I would guess that the Kabbalists would take it because the death
High
happens.
Priest is
the
dead.
death happens the round that they are still there. Like that is my guess is that the Kabbalists would take in that instance. But if there is an official ruling, I would literally say people die in turn order.
Well,
and just
because
see
the
what happens.
vengeful wouldn't be able to win because they're still faithful alive, and they need to be the vengeful needs to be
the last
the
person
last
alive.
man standing.
I personally think it's the game wins because come on, this is
That's also hilarious. Yeah.
Cthulhu-like game.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
totally appropriate for the game
Totally
to win
appropriate
against
for-
everyone.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's fair too. That is fair too. Okay, any
I
other
actually
thoughts?
did enjoy the game. So yeah, don't let the fact that I got crushed think that I don't enjoy the
Well,
game.
I wouldn't say you even got crushed because, well, there became like a lot of back and forth real quick.
I was able to save myself a lot.
Yeah.
Once everybody,
basically showed their hand.
once your teammates realized that we were not their teammates.
Oh, and I was
Then-
telling them, and they weren't listening.
No, they weren't.
They
they
didn't.
weren't. That's on them.
Yeah, that was one of the big things because I think that they were more newer players and we're cutthroat.
The
and
three
we
most
just cut your throat.
experienced players were the Kabbalists.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, Spencer. We were all out.
Green team wins.
Green team wins.
Okay, so but no, that's fair. That's totally fair. Bobby, what do you think?
Yeah, I love the game. I like the special little touches that we got on the final version compared to the earlier version. Just enhanced it for me. I'm not huge on social deduction and hidden roll types of games, but this is probably my favorite version of that because of the addition of the cultists.
This trumps
and the
Mercia?
tracks. I think
Okay.
so. Yeah, I mean, because that Mercia is more of a your guys' favorite.
Sure.
But yes, I like it a lot.
Yeah, Daniel.
I love this game. I think it would be unfair to not compare it to Bang the Dice game, and Bang the Dice game was a staple of my family nights for a very long time, and this is just obviously the components are higher quality, but it's also more expensive than Bang the Dice game, right? But the depth here with the rituals and everything, and the three different, like you have your showing one and your
Yeah, your
hidden one
sigil
and your
sigil
power,
card, which you can flip over.
having all of this here and two of them being hidden. Well, this is High Priest, but two of them being hidden and everything. Like there's just it takes that basic mechanic I love and it just makes it even stronger, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, going just on a couple quick points that Spencer brought up was, yes, it was just kind of unlucky that the 3 most experienced players, and I was trying to be really open. I was telling them, hey guys, just so you know, if you guys are the heretics, you kind of want to help
keep
Spencer
us alive.
right now.
We,
you know,
we
like
made it very clear what winning strategies were.
Right, and
I
so-
do not feel bad about that.
No, I don't. I did feel slightly bad because it was some people's first time playing a game like this that we really stomped them. Like, they held off for way longer than we thought they could. They teamed up in
Correct.
the end, but they really needed to team up slightly faster, because if they had teamed up, it would have been 4 versus 3. And I don't think we would have won. Even with you saying our stats powers were great, I don't think we would have had a chance if it was 4v3.
Well, what would have happened is that we would have had to, instead of just zeroing in on Spencer, which we were able to
Eliminate
do, you would have
teammates.
to eliminate a few
Yeah.
teammates
Exactly.
to then try to.
One of them was hurting one of the other people. I'm like, why are you hurting him when you could hurt the guy we know is trying to kill
sure,
me?
he was...
It would have only ended it your turn slightly, killed you a little faster. And I don't know what would have happened. Would he be able to
Sure,
take
I
off the
totally
other?
understand
I
what he
don't
was
know.
doing, though, because he was the heretic. So he was kind of
Yeah.
doing what I was doing early game, which is just like, I need to kind of, tick
everybody.
Lower
Take everybody
everyone
down.
down.
yeah, so that I can go for the big swing
Yeah,
at the
no,
end.
I
but-
understand that, but he was doing it at the wrong time.
Yeah, maybe. First time playing the game, but yeah, I thoroughly enjoy this game. My brother picked up a copy, and I can't wait to play it at my next family night that we get a chance.
Yeah. Everything you guys said. I freaking love this game. One of the things that puts this game over the top for me, absolutely, is the rituals and the way that those work. And because
cool.
some are good, some are bad, some of them you are just trying to keep at bay. Other ones you are really trying to finagle some of the timing, right?
Correct.
Because that
you
could
want
really
the keeper ability on there. Yeah.
yeah, and like maybe I'm not going to heal myself because I'm going to do this one, or maybe instead of, hitting Spencer because he's the high priest, and these guys aren't really coming after me as much, so maybe I'll try to kind of work this one a little bit down, so it really kind of gives you a lot of choices to do with your dice. And it also allows you then to, maintain that subterfuge, a little bit longer if you want, because you can kind of work some of the rituals instead of just flat out attacking people, left and right. And the variety of the roles are really fun. It's ripe for expansions, things like that. The player aids are really good.
Yep.
They break down all the phases. They tell you what all the die icons do. And then it even explains the Kraken dice, the Siren coins, and the Chant coins, right?
Yep.
So
Special
all of that
dice.
stuff is really great, straightforward, just really well designed. We thought this before we knew Sam and Ed personally.
Yeah, you can check the tape.
But combined with the artwork, the gameplay, just like the replayability now with the different combinations of rituals are going to just provide different scenarios, different personality types when you play with different people. I love social deduction games, and I play a lot of them. And this is way up high in that hierarchy of those. And I'm really excited because I really liked this the first time we played it. I had never played Bang before, the first time we played this. And I thought, wow, this is really good. I gave it an 8, like to start off with. And then I got to play it again now, and play it some more and see the final thing. And it's like, man, this is really awesome. So this is a really excellent piece to have in my collection, right? Because I can get it played. It looks great on the table. If we played this at a convention, even without a play mat, even just like this, people are stopping, and they're like, oh, what is this?
Ooh, look at that art.
Yeah,
That is
for sure.
fantastic.
The only way it'd be better is if we had Sam and Ed's altar that
Yeah,
they 3D
the
printed.
altar's pretty dope.
So if you ever see these guys at a convention, they've got an altar
Yeah.
that they
In fact,
set
it's
it up
Very
on.
cool.
We might have a video of that altar if you check out
Yeah.
our videos.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you see
can
our
see it in the interview.
You see that? It is there. Okay, guys, let's go into our final score. Daniel. How do we do that, sir?
So we're going to each give this game a 1 out of 10. We do include 0.5s to add some variety in there so that you can get our own personal opinions. If you like games that Bob likes more, you might go towards his scoring. But then at the end, we're going to average them all together so that the Board Game Rundown as a company has one score that we post on Board Game Geek, Discord, anywhere like that where you guys might want to see what our score is.
Fantastic. We'll just go in order. Spencer,
All right, I'm just gonna give it the number.
do you remember what you rated it last time?
Yeah, last time I gave it a 7.5.
Okay.
I'm giving it an 8.
Woo!
It's gone up.
It's gone up. That's good. That's good sign
it's good.
because you did get beat up on a lot when we played the other day.
The last time we played, the Kraken was out immediately, and it was a timer that was I did not enjoy that as much.
Sure. Chaos.
We didn't have that timer this time. We almost did with this guy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We had a different kind of timer. But yeah, no, that's
Well,
totally
actually,
fair.
technically, we learned from our mistake. The cult thing did come out.
We had
at
the
start of
Kraken
game.
out
Yeah,
first,
and
and we
then-
decided not to.
I was
do
like,
that.
too
New players.
Too many new players. Let's throw that one back in. And again, right? It's a game. Who cares? So we did that. But I'm glad that helped your experience. You know. So all right, great. So an 8,
Yep.
Bobby.
That's not in order.
Order of final thoughts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I really like this game. I think it was like around a 7.5 or an 8 last time. Love the components. Love the stuff coming out. No color issues. I'm going to bump it to an 8.5.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. Like I said, it's one of my favorite social deduction, hidden roll types of games.
Well, for a game with social deduction to get a rating that high from you,
Correct.
carries more weight than maybe me because I already like social deduction.
Right.
Yes.
All right, Daniel.
Me?
A 5.
Yeah. So I'm actually the hater.
I knew it.
Yeah, no, I enjoy the game thoroughly. Last time we reviewed this when it was pre-production, I gave it an 8.5. And while the components are like amazing compared and everything, I don't usually like. There are some games that makes a big difference. For this one though, the gameplay is what matters to me. The gameplay is solid, and I still give it an 8.5. I think that this is an 8.5 out of 10 social deduction game. And if you like social deduction, if you like Cthulhu kind of stuff, this is a fantastic pickup.
Yes. 8.5 for me too. Say all the same reasons. It's beautiful. I love it. It's really well designed. Yeah, I just enjoyed this even more than playing it before, and I look forward to getting it to the table more now. So.
Go on.
All of us together then. 8.4.
Oh, we're so close.
We were almost.
Spencer the wet blanket over here.
Oh, Spencer tanked our whole review with his 8.
So blame him.
Terrible. Hated this game.
Yeah. Just the small touches like this, even like we
Yeah.
noticed those
Oh my
runes on
God,
the
that
back of those
blew us
cards.
away when we found-
Fantastic.
Yeah,
you
for a
know.
game like this, they went out of their way to make it gorgeous.
Right.
for sure.
So again, us actually enjoying the company of the designers aside, this game's really good. If you like these kind of games, this is a must.
Yep.
Yeah,
I would just say that.
And going, like, not saying anything about that we, like the designer stuff. Again, I'm not nearly as close to them as even you guys.
Yeah, I
you
spent
know?
more time with them,
I sat
but-
with Sam for a while, and I talked to him, and that was cool and stuff, but you guys were definitely closer. But seeing the love and the, the quality they put into this kind of game, and then playing the
Forges of
Ravenshire
Ravenshire.
test of the
Yeah.
Forges or whatever, like, I can't wait to see what else BA
What they do
Games
with it.
takes.
Yeah, these
So
are
looking
guys
forward to
I
it.
am
So
so
looking
excited we
forward
are
to it.
in on the ground floor with
Yeah.
because they've got some really good ideas.
Oh, and they like a lot of the games that we like.
That's
so
also
they're
true.
designing
Yeah, they do.
games with the elements that we enjoy.
Yeah.
Odds are we're going to enjoy
Right.
their new games too.
Okay,
Oh,
guys,
wait,
I
you
said
think they're
what
going to be watching this review? I mean, it was a 10.5.
I said what you guys wanted me to say. Send me money.
Yeah. it's only going to be all in siren and points. But no, this is a very well made game. Really a lot of fun. I think even if you don't love social deduction,
Yeah.
there's still a lot in here with the strategy and everything. So awesome, guys. For the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
I was Bob.
I was a high priest.
And
And this was Cult of the Deep. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.